messed something up because that was the wrong intro.
Was that was the outro, right? Like,
No, that was the webinar intro, not the temp check intro.
oh, 100%. Then that was me. And we are duplicating sound.
Welcome to temp check, where the tech gremlin has already struck.
What did you do, Rachelle? What did you
I
do?
don't know. I don't know. You give me links, I log in. I didn't do anything. I'm just here.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Tech gremlin stuff. So we had I was away in Japan. Fabulous, fabulous country. Highly recommend for anyone to go. Kaga Onsen. I can talk about that for hours. Reach out to me in the community. Happy to talk about Japan and all the wonderful things that are happening there, and some not so wonderful things that are happening there, especially in procurement. Um, anyways, but I was away, and you masterfully handled one temp check and two webinars, two paid webinars while I was gone, effectively. One with Brianna Carter, UX and design, UX and proposals, and the other one with we were just literally talking about him.
Jeremy
Growth
Brim.
Ambition.
So I was like, did I do a webinar I don't remember? Because we were just talking about that.
And from what I understand, Tech Gremlin struck on Brianna's, where you had to like rapidly switch everything over to StreamYard. Is that right? Or
Yeah, so our host platform, Ring Central, is supposed to just like automatically do this beautiful thing where you're backstage and then you get to hit a button and go live. Well, it hid the button from me and nothing I did showed the button. So we had to very quickly just completely change platforms, which reminds me that I owe everyone who is registered for that a link to that recording because it's not hosted in Ring Central like it normally would be. So I will
and
get that out
that's where
today.
because I need to get that video into a private area where it can be seen. So it's me. The action item is on me.
Oh, perfect.
You were both like, sorry, everyone in this call, you are now learning in real time, like the dysfunction that is proposal industry experts. It's good times. All right.
It's not dysfunction. It's reflective of the proposal life. We have too many things going on to be able to do them in a timely and quality manner.
There are all the things. Anyways, all right. So yes, that's an action item. But I'm told that like the conversation was good, the webinar was good. So
Webinar was fantastic. The conversations that popped up in the community afterward have been amazing. Like it was a really, really good webinar. So I definitely want to get that recording out to everyone
okay.
as soon as possible.
I will have that done by end of day.
Ooh, you heard it here.
You
Get a hold
you
of
heard it
it.
here. Rochelle and I made a promise to each other last year that if we say something on this podcast, we actually do it. So uh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, and it's okay. I'm already logged into the area where that video is stored. So
Perfect.
we'll move from there. But that comes in mind that now, of course, currently we are straddling like two communities. So we have the better mode community where people know and love, and then we are migrating people slowly in like little dribs and drabs to disco. So full disclosure to everyone who's in our community, you may be receiving a request from disco to like confirm your login. We have tried to make this a little bit easier for you in so much that what we will do is we will set up an account that mirrors your account in better mode in there. It won't have all your data, but like it will have like stuff so that there's a structure, and then you will receive a login link, and that'll just say like, hey, be aware that blah blah disco has been set up for you and stuff like that, and it should exactly mirror your permissions in better mode. Now it won't look the same because it's disco. It's actually very fresh, it's very clean, and more importantly, it has an app, so you can have it on your phone if you'd like, and you don't have to be logging in on your PCs as you need to. So anyways, lots of fun stuff there, and then it has direct access to all our courses and everything, so all the content is there, and it should all kind of work together mostly seamlessly. One of the things that we have struggled with always at Pi is that we are throwing this stuff together. We are literally like throwing everything into the pie to bake. And right now we are trying to like be a little bit more refined in our recipe. and maybe we don't need as many ingredients. Like good pies just are sometimes just a couple of good ingredients. So
It's true. I think we have a fantastic recipe. We're just refining it.
we're just refining it. That's right. We're gonna we're gonna take out a couple of the dribs and drabs and focus on the good stuff. Anyways, so yeah, so we have that.
If
So
you
anyways,
signed up for RFP 101, you've already seen Disco. So you've gotten a sneak peek of how slick it is. And if you hadn't gotten one of our like pre-invites, those are going out soon for the whole community. So don't worry.
yeah,
Everyone next week will get to see the beauty that is our new kitchen. It's gorgeous.
yeah, there's a lot in the oven. Thanks, Beth. Speaking of Beth,
Speaking of Beth,
Beth is on our customer advisory board, one of the fabulous Baker's Dozen. And more importantly, for Rachelle and I, Beth has taken on the monumental task of basically helping run RFWin.
Beth is leading our RFWin committee like the superhero that she is. Actually, everyone on our RFWin committee is a superhero because it is a monumental task. If anyone has volunteered to manage or put on a conference, you
Yeah.
know, uh, we would be lost without them. So that's
Beth,
exciting things about the conference.
yeah. So a bunch of cool stuff has gone out. So one, speaker applications are out now in the wild. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, and super exciting. And more importantly, um, Beth and team have settled on a theme for this year's RF Win. So that will be held. Oh my goodness, do we actually have the dates? It's August.
August 7th and 8th.
Thank you. Wait, that's exactly the same as last year. Is that one of those
Oh, is
weird?
it 8th and 9th? It's sometime between August 7th, 8th, and 9th.
You would think that we would know this information. Anyways, yeah, so it's early in August. I believe it is the 8th and 9th, but I will double check. Anyways, and we wanted to have a theme this year, and so the team uh, went through some process and reached out to community to get that led, and it sounds like we have settled on Camp High.
The
So
community
the
chose Camp Pie overwhelmingly. So thank you to the community. We have RFWin 2025, Camp Pie. We're 7th and 8th. I was right. Thank you, Beth. August 7th and 8th. Beth doubts me. Sometimes I'm correct.
I will never doubt again. So Thursday and Friday. Yeah. Thanks, Beth.
Thank you, Beth, for keeping us on task.
It's all the things. Yeah. Honestly, the only reason I was skeptical is I was like, we were the seventh and eighth last year. Like, doesn't a 365 day calendar mean that like something gets pushed out? Like everything gets displaced a day every year, isn't it?
It was the 7th, 8th, and 9th last year. The 7th was pre-conference.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know if that's true. Don't fact check me, please. But that's my guess.
It's fake news.
That's
All right.
yeah, we really want help gathering speaker submissions, whether you are looking to speak or not. If you see an interesting voice out in the wild, please send them our way. Send them the submission. And if you have a good idea, but you don't really know how to present it, or you've never presented before and you're a little bit nervous, Pi does this really cool thing where we work with you on building up your presentation and building those skills that you're going to need to present. So we support you from step one all the way through the actual presentation because we care about you.
Uh,
Also, ArtWin is it's a wonderful place to present new ideas. It's a really welcoming community. Obviously, we're a little bit biased when we say that, but it's a really wonderful place to present something that maybe you're not sure about to a supportive community who's going to give you great feedback on it. So, great place to test ideas as well. Bring it on. Come
yeah,
to our kitchen.
100%. Piling on to Rochelle's comment, we do have a professional speaking coach who we offer. You can take sort of classes with her when you're one of our speakers and everything like that. And she has helped others refine not just like the RF Wins topics, but like other keynotes that they've done for other conferences, as well as like TED Talks. She's very skilled. She's a little bit woo from my point of view, honestly, but she like is magical in how she can like bring disparate thought together. So yeah, Totally recommend if you do have something in the back burner or something that you were thinking about speaking about. And from a purely commercial standpoint, the agreement we make you sign does give you your rights to your topic. So you refine it here, you can take it. You can take it on the road, so to speak. So yeah,
Love it.
all the benefits of hanging out and cooking in our kitchen, or in this case, around the campfire at Camp High. So there you go.
We're making
I'm
it
not
those s'mores.
yeah, I'm not married to that to that phrase that I just made, but I'll work on it.
We'll leave that to the committee to,
Yeah. Leave,
refine.
leave it to the experts. Leave it to the experts. All right. So with that in mind, though, the second webinar you had was Jeremy for Growth Ignition, and so this is Pi has always wanted to be at the forefront of like innovative education. Growth Ignition has been in the business for 20 years, and there is, with the advent of AI, there's very much this kind of like, I feel individuals who are just like, oh, we can just like throw everything out and start over again. And that's not necessarily true. Governments are slow to change. Large commercial bodies are slow to change. There is value in like mirroring something, attaching something innovative to something traditional. Not saying that like Jeremy by any means is a traditional guy. It is fun backstage with him.
Yeah, he's a riot.
He's a riot. Anyway, so there is a special offering for Pi members from Growth Ignition. You will get like some really premium education through that. Yeah. Anyways, and you just let us know if you're having any difficulty accessing systems. I believe most of the emails went out and stuff like that. We'll be posting links in the community so that you have access to it as well. And yeah, reach out to us and let us know how it goes. All right. What is this? Oh, this is in regards to the speaking coach. Yeah. You know what, Stacy? Chances are it's never small or irrelevant. I will give you like a short little tangent that occurred yesterday, where I was trying to do assignments of questions in a response tool called Ombud. And I said, hey, like this is just a small pet peeve. I put it over an open channel. And I'm like, this is just a small pet peeve. But when I'm doing bulk assignments, it creates this little tiny square telling me that my bulk assignments have been completed in the lower left hand or right hand corner. And it does that per section. So every time you do a section, which could be like 4 questions, it could be 500 questions, right? It'll put up that little square, and that square stays up there for 4 seconds. But what it does is it exactly covers the like green assignment box. So if you were like quickly going through sections because you know who it needs to be assigned to, it basically
Oh,
stops you
that's
for 4
insane.
seconds. So I put it in Claude AI, not ChatGPT this time, and I asked it to calculate like of 84 bids that I will do on this tool this year with 30 sections, how how much is it taking from my life with this 4 second delay? And it is 2.1 hours per year
Oh my gosh,
that it is
no.
stealing from my life. And so I said, hey, just a pet peeve. Does anyone else does anyone have a solution to this? And like the firestorm of like, I hate these small things that occur in like response tools and stuff like that. So let's be honest. If you have a small thing, my guess is among the 300,000 roughly proposal professionals in North America and the 2 million abroad, someone else is also thinking about your small thing. So
Bring it on. We want to hear
bring it,
it.
bring it. Oh, I use Onbud. Oh, Stacy, go calculate. Go calculate your bulk assignment impact. And actually, the humorous part is, I might have been wrong on it because I told Claude that it was roughly a 3 second delay. When I did the count, it works out to just slightly over 4 seconds. It's like 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, and then it disappears. So
I I love how not petty, but petty this is. You counted, you calculated, then you complained. That's
I can make a
amazing.
business case about this feature. And like and the worst part, sorry, I am going off. The worst part about it is it is visually showing me that the assignments are being not completed, but like are being assigned visually on the left-hand side of the screen. There is no purpose for the right-hand notification except to tell me, like, to give me a summation. I have completed 400 questions assignments, right? Like that is all it's really doing, is telling me the sheer number of assignments it's done. But I can see that the assignments were like assigned. I don't need any more
You don't need
information.
the running count in the corner.
It's so. Anyways, there you go. All right. So those are our housekeeping items. So look for disco invites. They should be coming out pretty soon. I am catching up. You might have seen stuff up here in your podcast feed. I was behind on that. My MacBook actually blew up. Thank you, Apple Care, for covering my MacBook destruction via warranty. I appreciate you. Anyway, so I'm catching up on that. Anyways, and then we have Growth Ignition, and then we have Camp Pie. So there will be announcements coming out about RFWin. If you are thinking about speaking, look for those speaker applications. All right, there we go.
Perfect.
And now, hard transition. Japan,
Japan, how was it?
amazing. Highly recommend. Now,
You're the second person I know who has been there in the last month and came back and was just like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever done.
yeah, like they have issues for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you know me. So one thing, Google Translate has like improved so much. I was having a conversation with like a 9-year-old woman. Um, Clearly, she spoke not a lick of English, and I spoke not a lick of Japanese. And we were able to like have like a back and forth that was like hilarious for other people to watch, because
I love it.
we were going deep. We were going deep into it. But you know me, I am nothing if not curious. So, of course, what I wanted to do when I went over there was find out about procurement. And so I went to one of my clients' offices, um, and hung out and talked to them about like sending in bids. And then just coincidentally at the spa I went to, I met someone to talk about on the other side of the
Oh my
business.
gosh. You would. You
Yeah,
would.
yeah. So scratch, scratch, scratch. So much fun. Anyways, and it has revitalized in me that I really do want to like revisit the project that I tried to launch when we started Pi, which was crowdsourcing questions for procurement and trying to build like a global understanding of like the different regions and regionality of proposals and proposal processes across the world. Um, Anyways, because what we found, so on the response side, what they were bemoaning was the fact that for Japanese businesses to feel comfortable with you, they go through a very, very detailed functionality process. So it's really just like, it's not just enough to say, like, yes, we do this, or even, yes, we do this because of X. It is, yes, we do this. And let me show you a diagram of exactly how that looks on a day to day basis. Like, it is very, like, they build confidence via detail. And so he says that what you often see is you'll see RFI1, where they go over all the functionality, RFI2, which is almost a clarification on the functionality that they've already seen, kind of thing. And then they go to RFP, and the RFP ultimately is just commercials. Like, it's just like, hey, can you give us a good price? Can you give us good deals? Can you give us good licensing? What's the scope of work? How do we pay for extra work? Et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's all those things because they've solved all the like functionality questions in the first couple of RFIs. And if you have been advanced to the RFP, like it's already done. Anyways, so it was a fascinating look from the response side, of
Yeah.
like of the things that they were interested in. On the procurement side,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
what so and admittedly he said so this was specifically for NEC, which is Nippon Electric Company, and they were like they're still like an incredibly large company, but they used to be like super. They were the Nvidia of their day, kind of thing in Japan. And this was when like Japan was thought to be like, hey, they were gonna be the next manufacturing economic powerhouse, right? And like overtake the US's GDP because of like post World War II economics and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm historying and nerding out. I apologize.
I love it. I love it. Would love to pause here, but I know we have time, so
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know if you knew we have a time limit, so
we have a timeline. Anyways, and so what he said was specific to his organization, but he says he's been in procurement in a couple different organizations, and he says that what you tend to do is you need to look because of like Nintendo and Toyota and some of the other successful firms. There is a mentality among the executives that you need to build a really, really strong relationship before you can proceed. And so the positive benefit of that is that like once you're in, you don't have to like keep rebidding for like every single project that a company wants to do. Like you can kind of just like achieve like the next level. You are a partner, not necessarily for life, but you're a partner for a long time and stuff like that. And there is also an understanding of like, hey, we want to understand the problems that affect you as a partner, so that we as the buyer can like support you in the delivery process. Because the biggest thing is that if you say you do something, that you do it. So how can we make sure that we are analyzing like all the issues that will prevent you from like being able to say yes to us, kind of thing, right? So there is this like really, really enmeshed procurement process. And those are all good. I was like, that sounds fantastic. I would love that kind of relationship with my buyers, right? And then he was like, let me tell you about the issues.
Okay, what are the
And
issues? Because I'm also like, that sounds great.
the issue is that procurement is a ridiculously long process, and that when your partnership goes sour, it takes a long time to dissolve yourself from it. So if
Oh,
you have an incumbent and things aren't working out, or they need to be more flexible, or they need to move faster, it is like a long time to like either get out of that relationship or make a decision at the executive level to buy something new, or to buy something that is adjacent to. And he gave an example of software where he has a software firm that has been delivering for them for a long period of time, has been working out really, really well. But what ended up happening is that like they didn't have some of the new AI functionality that they wanted to take advantage of, and they weren't really planning on building it in the near term roadmap that
oh,
NEC wanted. And so NEC was like, oh well, maybe we can just get this as an add-on and integrate, right? Like to the two softwares, which is a totally natural thing. But like even that decision, he said, like took months for us to like reach. And like even now, like we have not released an RFI for it. Like we are still kind of like going back to the old partner and being like, listen, like let's talk about the things that we need. And he's like, in a perfect world, we would have already released a market sounding at least that figured out what was going on. And so it gave me this insight into like, yes, um, like hey at the back end we've created this like super super cool thing where we and the partners are one kind of thing, but at the front end it creates like longer processes for qualification, and at the back end, like at the very back end of contract termination, it like creates all this friction that prevents you from like moving nimbly to the next decision. So yeah, just some interesting insight. And humorously, it also put me in line with like Ezra Klein's new book Abundance. Sorry, US people watching this, and I apologize, where he criticizes the liberals within your government about, yes, there it's really important to like care about certain things, but at a certain point, stuff just has to get done in government. And if it doesn't get done, so he of course is Ezra Klein is not a fan of what's happening with Elon Musk and Doge. And at the same time, he's like, I wish though that the liberals had created something like Doge. Not necessarily to like just lay off people, but like the idea of like looking at like, hey, how many like vetoes and checkpoints and validations have we put inside this process that might be slowing down, whatever. And that's kind of what the Japanese system sounded like a little bit. Is that like there are so many of these checks that it makes buying really, really difficult. The good news is once you're in, you're in, which is why I noticed that like most of the presentations that I was presented with were like things like land and expand, very much like how do we get that one customer in Japan, because then the world is our oyster. So there you go.
fascinating.
Yeah,
That was a lot for me to digest. So I'm just didn't think on that for a while, but like interesting.
I know. It really
Yeah.
does make me want to again revitalize our project for like finding out what are the differences by country or by region, about what is different about the proposal process. I almost want to get like some sort of thought group together on it, or panel discussion or something. I don't know.
Can we just like open up a document and have everyone brain dump? Like this is what's going on in my little corner of the world, and then we we go from there. Like we'll analyze it afterward, but
Yeah. Fun.
Huh.
Fun.
Yeah.
I will
I
do
love
so.
it.
All right.
Test kitchen.
So it is that time. It is 5 minutes to the end. I have a Tales from the Pitch.
Excellent. Bring it on. You always have a good Tales from the Pitch. And I can't remember what the one I presented was when I was on my own, so I need to find a new one.
Oh my goodness, did you present one? I haven't actually watched your episode yet. I apologize. I just
You just
started
made
to.
fun of my pigtails.
Yeah, I did comment on your pigtails because I was downloading the video so that I could do audio quality checks on it. Uh, so, anyways, I will watch it as part of that audio quality check. So,
Oh, you know. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure I had a printing story. So it's your turn. Let's go.
Oh, all right. This is a portal issue that I'm dealing with right now in real time. Back in November, the business development team for a client of mine reached out to me and said, "Hey, can you register for this portal?" And I was super busy at the time because it was Q4 and like all the deals needed to happen. So
Yeah.
I'm like, sure. And I didn't pay as much attention to it as I should, nor did I create a checklist. I went into this and it was an Oracle portal. And I signed up everything. Like I found our DUNS number. I got our tax identification number and, found our NAICS code and everything else that needs to be done and gave them a contact that, to reach out to and an email to respond to. And I did all the things.
It sounds
And
like
I,
you did.
and I hit submit and it presents you with like a blue screen that basically says, "Thank you for submitting."
Okay. Sounds like you did everything right.
Sounds like I did everything right, right? But I didn't like, and normally with portals, like if there's any ambiguity about whether I signed up correctly, I will like leave like a thing where I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to follow up with this in a week or something like that, or check on it."
Good practice.
That
You
was in
didn't do that.
November. I did not. I did not. So, anyways, business development has been in loose contact with their executive team, right? And then suddenly, uh, there is, then there is NACIS. We're talking about this next?
NAICS code. Isn't it NAICS? Like hard K? I'm so
Is it?
glad Beth taught that.
Is it? Is it? I have
I don't
never.
know.
Oh no, this is like facade all over again. Where I gave my
Right.
like oral presentation about the facade of the Vietnam conflict, and it was like facade all the way through.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I say words wrong all the time because I read them and I don't hear them.
Did
So
I
I've
just
never
say?
heard someone say NAICS, but you just said NAICS, and I was like, I don't know. I think that's the NAICS code, but I don't
Is it?
actually know how to say it. Anyway, thanks for calling that out, Beth.
Wait, we're getting off my story. So, anyways, so now business development reached out to me and they said, "Hey, listen, the CIO says the RFP is dropped. They wanted to like let us know so that we can respond to it." And I'm like, "Okay, sure." Go to the portal, try to log in, not successful.
Uh-oh.
And so I'm like, "Oh," and so then I'm like, "Okay, well, the usual workaround for this is let's just create another login. Like it didn't take me too long in the past. Let's do it again." The kicker is it does a verification against your TINs and your DUNS number to see whether you're creating a duplicate account. And it's like, there's already an account in the system. And I'm like, so I click forgot password, does not send me an email.
Oh no.
So I send a message to their procurement officer, like, "Hey, listen, really want us to respond to the bid. I suspect that I have signed up incorrectly. We tried to sign up in November. Is there any way that you can like either deliver the documents to us or like, help me log in?" And the procurement officer, probably having a very busy day because they just released an RFP, responds back with, "You need to get the documents through the portal." And I'm like, that is a misreading of my email. And I understand that. Who here has not skimmed the subject line and just responded?
Yeah.
So, anyway, so I'm like, okay, let me get on this. So I call them with business development on the line just to prove that, like, hey, I'm a professional proposal manager and I know how to deal with these situations. I call and I'm like, "Hey, listen, I think there was a misunderstanding. I might have not communicated very well. We can't get access to the portal. We tried to sign up in November." Their first comment to me was, "Oh, our SLA is 72 hours. Did you not receive a confirmation that your portal request was approved within 72 hours?" And I'm like, No. Did I miss like an email that was going to tell me that?" there was no email because it was not
Oh,
received. And she's like, anyway, she's like, I can't get you access to the portal. It's controlled by IT. I will file a ticket on your behalf. And then CCs me on an email that goes to IT, basically saying, hey, get these guys access. IT has an SLA of 24 hours. You see where this is going.
yeah.
And they respond to me the next day, like, hey, tell us the emails you want, like, to have portal access. So we respond with the emails that we want portal access, 24 hours. Again, elapses. We are now 3 days into this bid.
My anxiety is already like off the charts.
with
I can't
with
with this.
with no documents. With no documents. Anyways, IT responds and says, "Did you get the portal access via the emails that you supplied to us?" Nope. So then I file a ticket with our IT
Oh
team
no.
because it did not go into spam. It did not go into junk. It did not go into, we have like a security, like things that are held section where you can like review emails that might have been quarantined and stuff like that. It is not in there. So I'm like, oh, I need to file a ticket with our IT to see like, are they safe senders? Is there something wrong? Anyways, IT responds with like, nope, everything's fine. Nothing hit our domain. And I'm like, okay, so the problem's on their end. Respond back to to their IT team. 24 hours. We're now
This is the universe telling you give up.
we're 5 days into this bid, and I'm like telling business development, look, if the CIO really cared, we would be in this bid. Someone would be like printing off this document and sending it to us. They do not
Yeah.
want us as bidders. Like,
Yeah. Flag
but
waved. Like,
but still, we persist. This I can tell you right now, this issue is still not resolved. We got a message this morning, and now their IT team is like, maybe we should call and meet in person.
oh my gosh.
And
You
meanwhile,
know?
on our side, we have like directors who are like, hey, do you need help with this? And like on their side, the procurement officer is clearly like, I don't know what's going on. And like their IT team is
I
like,
can't do anything.
we're doing all the things. Like, I don't think anyone's malicious. No one's at fault. We are just like in this mess where can't get the documents. And I'm like, and so I said to the procurement officer on our last call, I'm like, listen, my suspicion is you need to deliver these via the portal because this is part of your procurement process. Like you have to prove that things were done fairly. Like there was no benefit to the member. And I'm like, hey, we are 5 days after the bid. Like, I don't think any court is ever going to be like, hey,
You showed favoritism.
yeah, you
Why?
showed favoritism. That company had an unfair advantage because they got to interact with you directly via email. Like, there is, we are
Yeah.
safe. And she was just like, I'm sorry, I really can't release it except through the portal.
Oh my gosh. Oh. All
So there
right.
you go.
I'm pinning this. I want an update next week. Also, update on the comments. It's like a 50-50 split.
Oh,
Stacy and Ben are team NAICS, and Beth and Rachelle are team NAICS. I think we're going to have to make a LinkedIn poll to settle this once and for all.
yes. Oh my goodness, someone do it. I want to
I'm on
know.
it. I'm on it.
All right.
Or Lindsay's on it.
We are 3 minutes past time. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for joining us on the temp check. Rochelle, do you have any comments?
I don't. We said all the important stuff. So see you in your applications for RFWin. See you in Disco, and see you next week.
All right, you all take care. Have a great one.